everyone, it's Chloe from Chloe's Creative Cards, and today I'm going to be showing you a fabulous project using our brand new floral cut and emboss folders. So the design that I'm going to be using today is the summer flower, and this is the project that we are going to be making. So I'll just show you this on the other camera. Let me just turn that round. So you can see there how we're going to be making this beautiful card. Let me get that the right way up for you there. Ooh, there we go. So we're going to be using the lovely basic Decagon dies to create our shaped base card. Then we're going to be using the summer flower cut and emboss folder to create these beautiful flowers in the corner. And if I just bring that a little bit closer, can you see how I've actually die cut all of these out of mirror card, which is really pretty. And then we're going to be using the Fancy Squares 2 die as well to create a little frame. And of course we're going to be using the sentiment builder and the dazzling foliage. Again, as always, on all of my videos, all of the products used during this tutorial are linked below, and you can shop them all at www.chloescreativecards.co.uk. Okay, I'm going to pop this back to the overhead camera and then we will get going. So to start with, I'm going to show you how to create a fabulous base card. This is so easy to do using our gorgeous dies. So to do this, I've got an 8x8 card blank to start with. Okay, and I'm going to put the fold to the top of my card, like so. And then I've taken one of my Decagon dies. So this one, I do believe, is like, let me just check I've got the biggest there. I haven't. Just grab. Always hard to pick up, aren't they? I've taken, not the largest, it's like the next size in on the sheet, okay? And we're going to pop this down onto our card. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to overhang the top ever so slightly. So can you see how this cutting edge at the top here is overhanging the fold? So what that's going to mean is it's going to keep, it's not going to cut where this fold is here, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to just tape this into place. I'm really sorry if you can hear a bird outside as well. It just seems to have landed just as we started this video. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of low tack tape, okay, and we're going to tape that in place, making sure that that cutting edge is overhanging the fold of the card. Okay, and this is the same concept for any of the dies that you've got, and if you want to create a shaped card blank. So what I'm going to do is run this through my Gemini. So I'm using the A4 Gemini machine, just because the plates are big enough to take this. So I've got my base cutting plate, my plastic shape, my card with my die, and a cutting plate on the top, and then we're just going to run that through the machine. Like so, and we'll just grab that when it comes out the other side. Okay, so when that comes out, we're going to grab that from the machine, remove the plates, and you can see there how we've got our card blank all nicely die cut. So I'm just going to remove my low tack tape and take away the excess card from around the edge. And that is then our Decagon shaped card blank. And you can see how we've still got the fold at the top there in place. So that's going to keep our card nicely together. And I've also made sure it's got a nice flat edge so that the card's going to stand up perfectly. I'll just show you that again on the other camera. Let me just flip that round so you can see that there. So that's going to create our beautiful shaped base card. Okay then. So what we're going to do now is, because obviously this side's going to be a little bit shorter, we're just going to take a piece of A4 white card. So I always like to try and make sure that the card is exactly the same card as I've used for my base, like my card blank. So sometimes what I do is cut up a base card, but this is actually the Craft UK smooth white card that I'm using, and it's the exact same card that they make the card blanks with. So I'm going to run that through my Gemini again. And we'll grab that when it comes out the other side. I'm just going to pick up the next bit from our demo because it's just dropped on the floor there. So we'll just grab those Gemini plates and take those out. And then you can see how we've then got that lovely Decagon nicely die cut. Okay, so we'll get rid of this. We're finished with that bit and we're finished with this. So what we're going to do is stick this onto the front of our base card now. So to do that, I'm going to use a little bit of Collal all-purpose glue. It's completely up to you what you want to use for this. You could use like a strong double-sided tape. You could be using your art glitter, dry as clear glue. I tend to use Collal for all of my mats and layers. So I'm just going to stick that down onto my base card. Okay, and then you can see that's created a lovely white Decagon shaped card blank. So what we're going to do now is create the mats and layers. So if we have a little look at this, you can see that I've cut another shape in exactly the same size from some matte mirror in the lilac, and this is from the Sugared collection, matte mirror and glitter card pads. So we've got the lilac there, then we've got the mirror, then we've got one of the patterned papers from the gorgeous foiled sugar paper pad. So we're going to take the matte mirror to start with, and we're going to take that die back in that we've just used to cut our base card. I'm going to pop that down onto our card, and I'm going to grab a little bit more low tack tape here, just to tape this in place. So that's going to go onto there, and that's going to go onto there like so. And then we're going to take our cutting plates again. So again, it's your base layer, your plastic sheet, and then your cutting board on the top. Then we're going to run that through the machine again. Okay, while that's running through, I'm going to take a piece of the lilac mirror card, and we'll put our next mat and layer. Push that out. There we go. So that's our first one done. The next one, we're going to cut from the mirror card. So I'm going to take the next size down in my Decagon nesting die. Pop that down and tape that into place. We're just going to run that through again. So you can see how brilliant these layering dies are for all of your mats and layers. So obviously when we've designed these, we've sized them to be perfect for your 8x8 card blanks. But of course, because they net, this particular set nests in 1/4 inch increments, you can of course be using it for your 6x6 projects and for your 7x7 projects as well. It is an absolutely fabulous die set. So that's our next mat and layer all nicely cut down. So the next one that we're going to do is from the patterned paper. So this is from that beautiful Sugared collection foiled paper pad, and I absolutely adore this paper pad. It is gorgeous, and this is one of the patterns that I've chosen for today's project. Just look at that, it is beautiful. So again, it's lilac, but it's got that really nice silver foiling on, which makes it incredibly opulent. So we're going to tape our die in place and run that through our Gemini again. Like so. So you just wait for that to run through. And next up, we're going to be using a chisel tip glue pen, because we're going to do a little bit of glittering on the edge of this one. Okay, so that again has perfectly die cut out. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take a piece of scrap paper, and we're going to take our chisel tip glue pen. Okay, just straighten that out a little bit there. There we go, that's perfect. And I've got my glass slipper Sparkalicious glitter here as well, but it's in a little tub. So what we're going to do is take our chisel tip glue pen and just drag along each side. And to keep that line looking nice and straight, what you need to do is hold your glue pen at a slight angle and then just drag it towards you, like so. So you just work your way around, covering that with your glitter. Okay, and then you can see how we've got a lovely little glittery border on there. So I'm just going to show you again on the other camera just how that then works out. So you can see how you've got that lovely little glittery border just going around the edge of the Decagon there. Really, really pretty. So what we're going to do now is we're going to start and I like to stick my mats and layers together as I go. rather than at the very end of doing my project. So to do this, what we're going to do is use our fabulous foam pads on a roll. So we're going to start with our base card. Again, I'm going to make sure that that folds at the top, so we know our card's going to stand up nicely on a mantelpiece. Then we're going to take our mirror card and I'm going to stick that one down flat. So again, I'm going to use my Collal all-purpose glue. Just a little bit of glue all over the back, like so. And then we're going to place that down onto here. Then we're just going to hold that in place so you can see that there. So what we're going to do next is we're going to take our lovely mirror card layer and we're going to pop that one on the top. So I'm going to put some foam pads onto the back of here. So again, if you haven't seen our foam pads on a roll, please do hop over and have a look on the website. I'm using the 3mm ones today, but you literally get 1,000 foam pads on a massive roll, and it comes in like a pizza box to you when we deliver it to you at home, and it is absolutely fabulous. The foam pads last such a long time, and they're easy lift foam pads as well. So what that means is you can just quickly whip the backs off them. They are brilliant and make crafting so much easier as well. Okay, so we're going to place this down. Just going to have to pull that towards me a little bit, sorry, just so I can see what I'm doing. Place that down onto our card blank, like so. And I love how you've got the contrast of the mirror and the glitter. The mirror and the matte mirror, sorry. It looks so pretty. And then we're going to take our beautiful foiled layer as well and pop this one on the top. So again, I'm going to put foam pads onto the back of here. So just a little foam pad just on the back like so. Do tend to put quite a few foam pads on my projects, I have to say. Okay, and then we'll just quickly take the backs off these as well. And again, these are those easy peel foam pads, so it makes it so much easier when you're crafting just to take those backs off. So again, I'm just going to have to bring this a little bit closer to me. Pop that onto there. Okay, and then you can see how that's all starting to come nicely together. Again, if I just show you on the other camera, you can see how we've got all of those mats and layers perfectly in place. Okay, it is absolutely brilliant. So just turn that back around to the overhead again. Right, so that's basically our base card all nicely made up there. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you how to create these beautiful flowers. Okay, this is what is so exciting, and I honestly have been bursting about this project. I've been waiting for it to launch because it's just fabulous. So we're going to take our gorgeous summer flower, cut and emboss folder. So again, if you haven't seen these, they're 5x7 in size, so they're going to fit through all of your A4 die cutting machines, and of course your A5 machines as well, such as your Big Shot and your Gemini Junior. But what's so cool about these cut and emboss folders is they've literally got a die inside the embossing folder. So what will happen is when we run this through, we are going to get all that beautiful embossed detail on the flowers, but it's going to cut them out as well. So if you're used to stamping and embossing your flowers, which is great and it is a beautiful effect, this is going to give you a similar effect, but it is just so pretty. Really nice, but so quick and easy to do. So if you are batch making projects, these are absolutely fabulous. So let me show you how to use these. So I've got some of that gorgeous lilac mirror card, and this is from the Sugared Pastels mirror card pad. Now what's important about these is when you are using like a coated stock or something that's got one side to it, such as a patterned paper or your mirror card, you want to place it into the folder facing down onto the dies. That's going to mean it's embossed. If you want to deboss it, pop it in the other way. But this way is going to make the detail pop out. So I'm using my Gemini Junior plates with these, and just to show you that you can use them on a smaller machine. And I'm going to run this through my big Gemini. So it's your two cutting plates together, and then you literally just run that through, and the machine does all of the hard work for you. So we'll just wait for that to come out the other side, and then when we lift that out, you can see how we've got these beautiful flowers that are just ready to craft with. Okay, and they are absolutely stunning. I'm going to show you these just on the other camera here, just so that you can see the detail on them, because they are absolutely fabulous. So you can just see how we've got all of that embossed detail on the flowers there. It is absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to run a few more through just to show you how to do these. So I've got another little bit of mirror card here. So again, placing it down into the die side. And what I would also recommend as well is when you're cutting, keep the pink side facing you. So keep that to the top of your sandwich, because that plate is going to have to bend a little bit, because that's where your cut's going. It's not going into your cutting plate on your die cutting machine, it's going into the folder. So to enable your dies to stay kind of stuck to the folder, it's better that you keep those flatter and keep this plate, this pink part to the top. So then when we take these out, again, we've got beautiful flowers, perfectly die cut out. My nails are getting a little bit in the way there. I'm just going to grab a pokey tool. Sometimes what you might find is they can get a little bit stuck in the dies. That's fine. You just need to find a free edge. And it does just lift away. Like so. Okay. Really easily. So let me just have a little look at my project. So we're going to need 2 large, 3 medium, and 5 of the small one. So what I tend to do is, because obviously I've got my 2 large ones there, I've got 2 medium and I've got 2 small. So really, all we need is 2 more medium and 3 more small. So what I do is I use my little offcuts. So I'll take like a little bit of my mirror card. I would like my scissors, if I can find them. Just have a little look. Sorry everyone, I was so prepared. There we go. So just take a little bit of an offcut of mirror card, then I'd pop that into my folder and run that through. So then I'm only cutting the 2 sizes that I need. So again, we'll just run that through our die cutting machine. Grab that at the other side and lift these away. Again, if you find any of them get a little bit stuck in the dies, you can just use your pokey tool just to lift them out a little bit. It's just a case of getting hold of that corner. So I'm going to cut another small one with that little offcut of mirror card there. So we'll just quickly run that through. Okay. And then we're going to cut another, we'll get those out, yes we will. Another medium and another small one there. Sometimes just need to clean away any excess that's got stuck on the cutting plate there. It is normal as well for you cutting emboss folders to warp. That will happen, it's just because you're actually cutting into the plastic with the die. Okay, so we'll lift all this away. Just going to lift those out, like so. So that is using our fabulous cut and emboss folder. So I'm going to pop that to one side because we are now finished with that. And we're going to start and build up some of these beautiful flowers. So we've got our 5 small flowers. We've got our 4 medium and our 2 large. So to build the largest flower up on here, I'll just quickly show you the card on the other camera. There we go. So to build the largest flower up, we'll start with that one first. So we're going to use our 2 large flowers. There we go. I'm just trying to get the card the right way for you. It's really hard when you can't see. So to make the large flower, we're going to use 2 large, 1 medium and a small. And then to make the medium flower, we're going to use 2 medium and a small. And to make the small flower here, we're going to use 3 of the small summer flowers. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take these, and what you'll notice is with these dies, we've had them designed so they cut directly to the centre of the flower. So when you come to shape them, it makes life so much easier. So all I'm doing is just working my way around and pinching the petals, okay? So you can see how that's then added that little bit of dimension and shape to these flowers. I'll pop it on the overhead camera as well so you can see this from the other angle. So you just work round, pinching the flowers like so, and then you can see how it's just adding that little bit of dimension. So we're going to do that with all of the flowers. Like so. Just working round, pinching down the middle, and I have to say, I think because with these you get the embossed detail on it, it makes it even easier for when you come to kind of shape the flowers and shape the petals. Because you've got that embossed line down the middle, it kind of just, when you pinch it, it just follows the line, which is brilliant, because in effect it's then like acting like a score line, isn't it, really? So we can just work our way around, pinching the flowers. And as well, if you've got any other die cutting machine, I do have a page on the website. Again, I'll pop it in the comments where it tells you exactly what plate combination to use for some of the different die cutting machines. Okay, so just work our way around, pinching the petals. So I'm just using my index finger and thumb, but I always like to make sure that I hold on to the flower in the middle. Just so then you don't kind of pull the petal off or anything like that. Just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, so we're going to use a little bit of glue gel now to stick these together. I think I've got some glue gel open, so let me just have a little look for that. So all I'm going to do is pop a blob of glue in the middle of the flowers, and then what I tend to do is I tend to just take the flowers and pull the petals upwards like this. Okay, so then you can see how it just adds that extra little bit of shape and dimension to the flowers. So what I'm then going to do is just start to place this on the top like so and build these flowers up. So we're going to take, we've got the two large there, and I've just twisted and rotated those. Then we're going to add a medium one, which I'm going to offset in the centre. And then we're going to take a small one, which again, I'm just pulling all of those petals up towards the middle. Blob of glue on the back. And then we're going to place that down and just gently press that into place. Like so. Okay, so you can see how that's coming together, and it almost looks like metal on the flower. Can you see that? It is absolutely gorgeous. A really, really pretty design, but so easy to do. So what we're going to do now is add a little jewel into the middle of this gorgeous flower. So I'm going to use my sugared bling box, which I've got here. I'll pull 3 of the bigger jewels out because we're going to be making 3 flowers, so we might as well get them out ready. Okay, and to stick this in the middle, I'm just going to use a little bit of glue gel. I have a really horrible old embossing tool that's all caked in glue that I just used to pop a tiny bit in the middle. Then I'm just going to pick this up and pop that down. Okay, so that creates your large flower. I'm going to put that to one side just so it can dry. We're going to create the medium flower in exactly the same way. So by pulling those petals up, we're going to layer 2 medium together. Like so. And then we're going to take a small one and pop this one into the middle. So again, a little bit of glue. Place that down into the centre. And put a little bit of glue on the end of my embossing tool. And just drop a jewel into the middle there like so. So you can see how gorgeous that one looks. So that's your medium-sized flower. See if I can just turn that round to show you there. But you can see how pretty that then is. Okay, and then we're going to do exactly the same to make the small one too. But this time we're going to stick 3 together, just because we can. So we're going to leave one flat. We're going to take the other ones, and again, we're going to pull those petals up towards the middle. Pop a blob of glue on the back. Position that down. Exactly the same with the next one. Pull all those petals up towards the centre. Blob of glue on the back. Position that one down. Then we're going to take a little bit of our glue gel into the middle and take a little jewel from the bling box. That then goes onto there like so. And if we just turn that round, you can then see how we've got that gorgeous flower ready and created just to go onto our project. So what we're going to do next is we're going to create a beautiful, very much like to find the lid for my glue gel. There it is. When you're using your glue gel as well, squeeze a little bit out into the end. Then that creates a seal, so it stops it going hard in the tube then. Okay. So let me just bring the finished card in. So I'm going to show you how to create this little glittery frame around the edge, and then we'll do some foliage. Then we'll be just about ready to assemble, to be honest. So what we're going to do now is I've got a piece of A4 card. Okay, and what I've done is I've taken a sheet of like a double-sided sticky sheet, and I've just covered my white card with the sticky sheet. Okay, obviously I've left one side with the, not with the sticky on, so it's not sticky, you've still got the backing on. But what we're going to do is take 2 of the dies, and this is from Fancy Squares number 2 that I'm using. This die that I've picked out, it looks a little bit too large. We just have a little look. I think we need a smaller one. We just grab in the 2 dies that I've chosen. So it's these 2 here. So I literally kind of just sized it to fit on my card, to be honest. So I've just pulled my 2 dies out of the set. And I'm going to tape this into place. Now it's always really difficult to tape into place onto the double-sided adhesive, obviously, because it's a little bit of it's like a surface that moves, doesn't it? So what we're going to do now is take our cutting plates, and I'm going to build my sandwich up backwards in effect. So I'm putting my cutting plate down, my plastic shim and my cutting board, and I'll flip that over and run that through my Gemini. So again, I'm using my big Gemini plates for this one, just because it's a slightly larger design, so it'll be a little bit easier to put on that one. So I'm going to run that through and grab it at the other side. So then when we take this out, you'll see we have a lovely frame ready to go onto our project. Okay, and what we're going to do is take our scrap paper, and again we're going to peel the backing away from here like so. You can see that there. And we're going to take our glass slipper glitter, not glass slipper, sorry, Diamante Sparkle is the one that we want, which is like that lovely chunky chrome silver. Okay, we're going to sprinkle that over the top. Like so. Press that in a little bit and tap off the excess. And if I just turn that round on the other camera, you'll be able to see how we've got this lovely glittery frame ready to go onto our card. Now obviously if you don't want to create the mess with the glitter, you could be using a little bit of glitter card instead if you want to. But I've chosen to use the glitter for this one because I think it goes really nicely. Okay, and then what we're going to do next is going to pop that to one side. I'm going to stick this down into our card blank. So again, I want to make sure that I've got the fold of my card to the top. Okay, and then we're going to pop this on. I'm going to pop it on that way around there. I'm going to use my foam pads again. But what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do like a double layer. So I'm going to cut them in half. That just makes it a little bit easier. Okay, just to work around the edge of my frame. Just going to trim them down a little bit more. If they look like they're a little bit too wide for the frame, you can always just trim them down again. It's not a problem at all. Okay, and I'm just going to take the backs off of here. Like so, and do a double layer. So that literally means stick another foam pad on the top. Okay, that's as technical as it gets. Just trim these two in half again as well, and then that's going to mean that you've got that double layer, so it's going to give you that little bit extra lift and a little bit extra depth on your project. Okay, I think I've used a slightly larger frame on this one compared to the one that I made earlier as well, so it'll be interesting to see the difference. So we'll just work around whipping the backs off these like so. And making sure that folds at the top of the card. I'm going to pop this down into place, like so. Okay, and then what we're going to do is take our flowers, and these are going to get arranged. So I'm going to pop one there, and maybe one down there, so you can see how that's starting to then come together. But what I've done is I've die cut a little white fancy squares too. And that's just going to sit in the centre, just to kind of draw your eye in when we're using the, to draw your eye into the sentiment. So it's not as busy, and it takes away a little bit of the, it doesn't make it look too purple then, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my glass slipper glitter again. I'm just going to go around the edge of this die cut. So again, using my chisel tip glue pen, making sure that that chisel's held at a 45-degree angle, and just dragging it around the edge. Okay, that creates that lovely little glittery border around the edge like so. I'm just going to get rid of all of these foam pad backs that I've got here. Get those out the way. Okay, then I'm going to stick this down in the middle of our card. So to do that, we'll just move those flowers off. It's going to go down at a slight angle in the middle of our card. So we're going to use a little bit of glue just on the back of there. I'll just use my all-purpose again. Just a tiny little bit of glue. That's then going to go down into the middle of the card, like so. Okay, I'm going to leave my flowers off for now. I just kind of positioned them just to see how it was looking there before. So we'll pop that to one side. What I've then done is I've taken our lovely birthday sentiment builder stamp and die set, and I've taken the Have A and Day and Fabulous, and I've stamped and embossed those into silver onto some white card. I'm going to show you how to stamp and emboss in a second. So just for this sentiment, I'm just going to show you how to pop the die over the top. So you then get the outline die with this. So I'm going to pop the outline die for Fabulous over the top of here, and then I'll just tape that into place. It's always worthwhile using two little pieces of tape as well, just to hold your dies in place. It just makes them a little bit more balanced, so it makes it a little bit easier. Haven't got the right plates to use my junior ones with these, so we'll just use the big plates and quickly run this through. So again, just running this through my Gemini machine like so. Okay, and you can just hear how that's working, and it's going to come out the other side. And lift that away. We've got Fabulous, perfectly cut out. So what we're going to do now, just take our tape like that there. I'm going to move those stamps out of the way because we're finished with those. I'm going to just use my guillotine to trim out the Have A Day. Okay, so let me grab my little guillotine in. Here we go. Okay then, so what we're going to do is we're going to just take this and trim these down. So what I tend to do is just line it up with the top of the font. That's then going to give you one straight edge to work to. And then you can kind of just work your way around, trimming these down. Of course, if you are confident that you can cut in a straight line with scissors, go for it. I personally am not, so I would just use my guillotine to do this. I find it much easier. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we are going to take our base card back in. Again, always making sure that it's the right way up. The amount of upside down cards that I've made is ridiculous. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take our Fabulous and we're going to stick this down into place. Now again, I'm loving this whole double layer of foam pads at the moment, so I'm going to do 2 foam pads back to back on here. Like so, then that's really going to make the Fabulous pop off the card. It's going to go down there. Okay, and then we're going to do the Have a Day, and I'm just going to do that with a single layer. Just take a little bit of my foam, again, because I'm using these really large foam pads. I absolutely love them as well, by the way. You do just need to trim them down a little bit when you're doing smaller projects such as this one. A little Have a, and then my little Day, just down at the bottom there, like so. So you can see how that then is coming together lovely. So I'm going to pop that to one side and we're going to start work on all of this gorgeous foliage that we've got just going around the side here. So if I pop this up on the other camera, again, can you just see how we've got all of that gorgeous foliage? Okay, so to do this, we're going to use the Dazzling Foliage Stamp and Die set. Okay, and we're going to be using some Sparklicious glitter in Silver Gilt and Grasshopper. And we're also going to be using some of the jewels out of the Bling box too. Okay, so I'll just pop the camera back to the overhead. So let me grab in my stamp set. So this is the Dazzling Foliage Stamp and Die set, and you can see you've got a lovely selection of designs on here. So you've got that beautiful, like the berry spray, you've got the gorgeous swirl, then you've got the beautiful little, I don't even know how to describe this. We did a stamp like this a few years back in a Christmas set, and everyone absolutely loved it. It like created little kind of fronds on your card, which was obviously stunning. But it was kind of like, it was a lovely design, but it was hard to cut out. So I did it a lot with acetate and things like that. But what we've done is I've redrawn it. So this is a totally new shape. And we've actually done it so that you can get a die to die cut it out. So that obviously makes it a lot easier. And then we've got the beautiful leaf design as well. So we're going to be using these 3. We're not going to use that beautiful swirl. We're going to use the berries, the leaves, and the little kind of spray to do the foliage on this one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a sheet of white card. Okay, and do you know what? I might just stick my 3 stamps under the one block. So these are, of course, our fabulous acrylic blocks that have got the little grid on there for you that just make life so much easier. Okay, then we'll take our stamps. So we're going to use this little berry spray. We're going to use that gorgeous green foliage. Then we're going to use this beautiful like little spray stamp. So I've stuck all 3 of those onto my block. So I'm going to move that to one side, grabbing my white card. I'm going to take my anti-static bag. My anti-static bag's kind of exploded a little bit in the pot. Give our card a good dust over with that. Okay, and then we'll pop that to one side. Then we're going to take our stamps and we're going to take the Wow Clear Embossing Ink Pad. So this is a sticky ink pad that is designed to hold all of your fabulous embossing powders and embossing glitters. So we'll just ink up beautiful design. I'm going to pick that up, place it down and press onto my card. So you want firm, even pressure all over the stamp, like so. Then I'm going to lift that off. Okay, and I'm just going to grab in my scrap paper again. Then the embossing powder that I'm using is just Wow Metallic Silver, super fine. So this is a really nice fine grade silver embossing powder. So just sprinkle that over. Of course, anything that you don't use, any excess is going to go straight back into the jar. Oh, you can tell that I've used my chisel tip glue pen on that bit of card there. So we're just going to heat these up now. So to heat these up, I'm just holding my heat gun still, and then as soon as that embossing powder melts and changes, I'm just moving the heat gun over the image. Right, so what we're then going to do is we're going to take our dies and just place these over the top of our stamped images. Okay, so again we want some low tack tape just to hold these in place. So just cut a few little pieces down. So we're going to take the little kind of berry spray. We're going to pop that into place. It's going to go in there. I'm going to do exactly the same with the leaf. Pop that directly over the top and tape it into place. Going to move that little bit of tape because it's just overlapping a little bit. Then we're going to take the next one. Again, line that up. It does help if you're directly above the image as well. It's obviously a little bit harder for me because if I lean in, you're just going to get a lovely shot of my head. So yeah, it's a little bit more tricky, but if you look directly above, you'll find it's a lot easier to line up. So then again, I'm going to take my Gemini plate and run this through my die cutting machine. Like so. Okay, and we'll just grab that when it comes out the other side again. So they are beautifully die cut out. These do leave a little border around the foliage as well, but you can see how nicely we've got those all cut out. So I'm going to start with this little berry one in the middle, and to decorate this one up, we're going to use the beautiful bling box. And I'm going to use some of the purple jewels from here. So I'm just going to pull a little selection out. So I'm going for the smallest ones and also the medium sized ones. I'm going to use my little jewel tool to pick them up. Okay, and then all I do is take my arc glitter dries clear glue. Just pop a tiny little blob of glue just in the middle of each of the dots. Like so. And then I just take my little jewels and pop them into place. It really is it's simple and straightforward to do. It's so easy. So you're literally just picking the jewels up and popping them down. That's some of the larger ones, and I always like to take some of the smaller ones as well. I just think it adds a little bit of kind of perspective. To the design. By just adding some of these in. Okay, and then we're going to pop the leftovers back into the little box here. Okay, and you can see how that's then created this lovely little berry spray. But what's so lovely about these particular jewels is they've got a little bit of AB coating on them. So I don't know whether you'll be able to see. You see the different colours that they pick up. They are absolutely beautiful. And just bring that one back in there. Okay, and then we're going to take a little bit of glitter to do this frond design. So the glitter that I absolutely love for using with these is silver gilt, because it literally looks like lots of little jewels or diamonds almost scattered across them, and it just looks beautiful. So we're just going to use a little bit of that under here. So to do that, all I'm going to do is take a little bit of my PVA glue again. And there are like little dots on the stamp, but you don't need to follow them precisely. I'm literally just putting little dots of glue. Then you're going to take your die cut and dunk it into the glitter. And then you can see, if I hold that one up, be able to see how beautiful and sparkly that then looks. Okay, it is so, so pretty. Really, really sparkly, all the blings on there. It's absolutely fabulous. So what we're going to do now is we're going to glitter up those leaves. So these are really easy to glitter up. Literally, all you're going to do is take your leaf design and just trace it. If your art glitter dries, clear glue, using that little metal tip on here, it makes it so, so easy just to trace around the edge, fill in the gaps, like so. Just adding the glue in. And really what I do is just very gently squeeze the bottle, and I'm almost like scratching the tip onto the card to get the glue on there. Okay, and then I'm going to take my grasshopper glitter, which is a lovely bright green. Sprinkle that over the top. Tap away the excess. And then you can see, if I just turn that round, how lovely that green is on the little leaves there. I think my light's bleaching it a little bit. It does dry a lot more vibrant and green as well, and the glue's obviously dried down. Okay, so that is the little leaves and what we do with those. So I've got some that I've already done that are obviously dry, so that I can show you how to assemble this project. So what I'm going to do is take my leaves. So I've got 2 of the leaves. Got a couple of the little little spray designs, and I've got a couple of my little berry kind of sprays already pre-done. So I'm going to take my card blank, and I'm going to just start by arranging my flowers roughly where I want them. I think we'll have there. Go on up there. We could go like that if we wanted to. I think I preferred it that way. Okay, so we're going to stick these in place with a little bit of glue gel. So again, a good blob of glue on the back, and then just place these down. Like so. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take the lovely little leaf sprays, and we're going to tuck these in behind the flowers to start with. So I like to give these like a little bit of, just a little bit of shape. There's nothing kind of right or, there's not a right or wrong way to do this. Just kind of like to shape the leaves a little bit. So just tend to crease them a little bit between my finger and thumb. Open there. A little bit more glue gel. Just tuck that one underneath there. So you can then see how that's starting to come together. Then we're going to take our little leaf, like the little berry type sprays, like to trim the ends off these ones. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue gel onto the back of these ones. They'll just tuck in underneath there like so. Then we're going to take these gorgeous little sprays and just tuck these in. So I'll do the first one in here. Just go in there. Pop this one in. Just down here. And then this one I'm going to cut it in almost in half. Should have had an extra one really, but you can always easily stamp and die cut another one if you're at home. Just building that with the 3D glue gel. So you can see how our gorgeous card is coming together. So we're going to create a little bow to go in the bottom corner now. So to do that, I'm going to use our gorgeous new Luxe ribbon. Okay, I'm going to try and do it on the other camera actually to show you. Let me move the card out of the way first. Let me just turn that round. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take the ribbon and I always hang it over my index finger, like so. I'm going to take it and make a figure of 8 around my third finger, back round my first finger, back round my third finger. And do that once more, like so. And then I'm going to take this length of ribbon and cross it over all of these pieces, including my loose one, at the back. I'm going to take this shorter piece, I'm going to wrap it all the way around the middle and tuck it down the back. It is really, really hard to show you this on a camera, but I'm chucking it down there and then pull it out the other side. So you can see how that then forms the gather to your bow. I'm going to turn that round, tie your knot at the back, tie it nice and tight. Okay. Then once we take that away, cut the ends off at a little bit of an angle and see how we've then got that lovely little bow tied. Okay, it just works really, really well. So pop that back onto the other camera now. You can see how we've got that lovely little bow ready just to stick onto our card blank. So what we're going to do is stick this down. So I'm going to stick it on the corner. Little bit of glue gel just on the back there, and then to finish this card off I'm going to take one of the large jewels from my lovely sugared bling box. Going to add this just into the middle of the bow, like so, and that would then be your gorgeous finished project. So this one was using the summer flower cut and emboss folder. I'll just turn it round onto the other camera and then you'll be able to see. So you can see how we've made this card from start to finish using the beautiful new sugared collection from Chloe's Creative Cards. We've used the lovely sugared paper pad. We've used the sugared matte mirror and mirror card, and we've also used the summer flower cut and emboss folder. I really hope that you've enjoyed watching this tutorial. All of the products that I've used are linked below in the comments, and it's also up on the blog at chloescreativecards.co.uk. You can shop all of the items that I've used on the website as well, which is www chloescreativecards.co.uk. There's a full list of materials in the description below, and I really hope that you enjoy recreating this project at home.